You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, no. That was a bummer, wasn't it? Thought we had it.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Too many mines. Come on, capture this thing. Who hit me? Come on. Waste. There's too many people here. We're gonna consolidate our other bases. I want to win this battle round because I've never won it before. And there's actually some conquest at work here. No, you gotta be kidding me. Damn it. Apparently the Alliance don't want to win this. Alright, here we go. We got some people coming in. That shaman knockback is a little bit like ridiculous. Knocks you entirely too far. Anybody else want some? Anybody else want some? Gotta go. Oh shit. Yeah, we lost that. We can't. There was like 4 or 5. We were gonna lose that. I'm going to. Oh, no, we got another one. Shaman. Yeah, I'm gonna go make sure we get mines. Can't believe they don't. I mean, how do you not have mines when you have this many people here? When they've got like 4 people here, like how are you not flagging mines? I just don't even comprehend what's going on here. See what I'm talking about? Just like, hello. Anybody else? Is there anybody else? Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? Looking like Brad Pitt, right? From Is there anyone else? We're not gonna win. No matter how hard we try, we're not. And no matter what base I go to, like we get it and then we lose it. People just can't sit the bases. And I fall victim to that because I ran up here hoping to. Because there were too many people in mines. But I'm gonna go back to mines because mines is gonna get hit again. I would imagine. Drink. Take DS. Yeah. The whole team's at DS. I'm gonna check mines. We got 2 people here, so. Another thing you can do is check Navi and Ron, are they taking damage? Navi, Ron, no, it doesn't look like they are, so there's no one attacking this base. I'm still gonna walk through here. How about barrels? You taking damage? Yes. But not a lot, so. Alright, now I'm gonna head back. Ignore farm or stables. Yeah, there's the call out, stables. I don't know if that's enough. We've got Star, Raynor. See Star, it's right here, Raynor. I don't know what class he is. Looks like they're okay. I don't see him taking huge damage. Star is completely 100%, so this should be completely fine. But we'll double check just to make sure. It's fine. Now I'm going back to mines. There's Dooney taking damage. Dooney is the... I don't see Dooney. How come I don't see Dooney? Oh, he's a warrior. Why is he in... Oh, like that, it's a brown icon. I'm kind of like orange. kind of orange. Yeah, I don't see anybody attacking this base. Just gotta keep them off flags for 4 minutes. I don't see any incomings. No one's following incomings. Where are they at? Did the Horde give up? The Horde are winning, so it's like they couldn't have given up. Why are there so many people at BS? ST. Okay, we got 3 people heading to ST. Hopefully that's enough. There we go. Got a rogue here, but the rogue's not going to be enough to take the base. Oh. I'm going to BS. Got a very slight lead here. Bye-bye. Ooh, the burst. Oh, the burst! Yes. Damn it. The burst! Oh. Good game. That's the first. I finally won that one. It's the first time I've won that one. Good game. Did I get the achievement? I don't know if there is an achievement. I got a strong box. Learned the achievement. Battlefield Brawler. No, I didn't get an achievement. Oh well. It's okay. Let's do it again. Alright, now we're up to 460 we still don't have enough conquest. But, you know what? I think we've got some quests to turn in that will give us some conquest. Why is this like this? This is not right. Why are these showing up? I don't know. Which ones do I want to show up if I'm not in combat? Really, I shouldn't show any of them. Let's go pilot DPS. I'm gonna leave these two up because they're really important. So I'm gonna leave these up because they're actually really important.
More work.
More work. I think I got 2 quests to turn in.
Back to work.
Work.
What task can I perform for you? Returning to task. Conversation terminated. Be safe.
My directive is to serve you. Return and peruse my inventory again. I have an extended supply of goods for Outlanders. My directive has been fulfilled.
You understand WoW 3 times 2 equals 1? Yeah, yeah. WoW can be a little bit weird sometimes, right? PK?
Friends,
Double
we
red.
gather today to see which of these bandits, these goons, these ne'er-do-wells have the right to call themselves true Coulterans!
Fury Warrior Unholy Thanks
Only the last one standing will have earned that honor. And this likely won't be a clean fight, so keep your distance, eh? Now, are we ready? This is a night for Coulterers! Oopsie daisy!
Crap, we kind of annihilated that poor warrior. He's just like Biff. It's like goodbye warrior. I would say that if you're a Fury Warrior and you're going to a 2v2 arena match and there's 2 Retribution Paladins on the other side, you're in big trouble, because if those Reds have half a brain, they're definitely gonna focus you. And they're gonna focus you hard.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not looking good up there. Not looking good. We got 3 bases already. I'm gonna pull out. How's the rogue doing? I love how this battleground has removed the water here, so you don't have to like walk across the water. All the water's frozen, so that doesn't slow down like the traversal, which is fantastic, you know? I'm just gonna stay here.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh well. I held it as long as I could. It's gone. Yeah, that kind of sucked. They just bum rushed that shit hard. How many do we even have there? Like 2 people? It was like 2 versus 4? Ah, well. Kind of sucked. That kind of sucked. I mean, literally, it was over in like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. He actually bubbled it.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, no, I bubbled. I didn't even need to. Shit, I thought that was an... Oh. I thought that was a bad guy behind me. I didn't realize it was a good guy. So when he came up behind me, I bubbled because I thought it was a bad player. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to kill this guy and that guy. But I was wrong. Oops. Oh, my sapped. No, not the sap. Not again, really? This fucking idiot. Seriously? I'll see you, Terry. I'm so sick of shamans doing that knockback. The knockback distance is just too far. I mean, that's ridiculous. He knocks me like 30 fucking yards. Actually, more than that. He knocked me like 70 yards. It's like a 70-yard knockback. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's, come on. It's like, it's just too strong, you know. I don't mind a knockback, but when it knocks you that far, it's a little bit too strong. And there it is again, right? Asshole! Yous are an asshole. You and your knockback. Alright, now we're going to look at our player, and who's taking, so Ace is taking damage and the Hunter's taking damage. Ace is, I don't know, over here? Yeah, it looks like they're up here taking damage. I don't know why they're up here. Oh no, Ace took damage over here. I don't know where he died from, though. He's just respawning. I'm guessing they tried to 5-cap. Of course. No call out on stables. It's hard to call shit out. The PvP in retail now is so fast paced that just to take my hand off the keyboard to type, and that's the hard part, is I need to create a macro. If there was a way I could create a macro that say, you know, where at my current location, or maybe I can create a macro that pings my current location. That probably would work with the ping system. I'll Google that and see if we can do that, because it's just too difficult. So. Again, even the hunters got it? Even the hunter has the explosive trap. So you got the hunter with explosive trap. You got the shaman with, I don't even know what that knockback is. I don't even, honestly, I don't know what that is. I played a elemental shaman and I don't remember having any kind of knockback like that, so I'm not sure what that is, but it's ridiculous. And then you've got, who else? Who else had knockbacks? There's other classes that have knockbacks, I think. I'm trying to think. Hunter, oh no, just hunters and shamans. I cannot remember if anybody else does. I'm not leaving my wingman. I'm not leaving my wingman. See this guy here? He's my wingman. There's gonna be a road coming up here. Yeah, I'm gonna get, this is ridiculous. Look at all these people here. They're gonna hit farm or gold mine. This mage is like trying to attack me off. I'm not gonna fight you in the middle of the road. You know, sorry. I'm gonna fight you in the middle of the road. You know, what do you think, I'm stupid? What is this? Oh, it's his pets. It's his fucking pets. Alright, who's taking damage? This guy, Menahu. Where's he at? I don't even know. Who else is taking damage? The warrior. Where's the warrior? Right here? Yeah, so. Taking damage at the front of BS. And who else is taking damage? This guy, this hunter's taking damage. Rogue. Yeah, it's these guys. So over here. Right over here somewhere. You're taking damage. But they don't see anybody. Must be a huge fight at farm. Oh, here we go. This is poor hunter. Yeah, let's take this guy down. I actually love it when they... I love it when they cyclone. Because then...
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Shit. Well, that sucked. Well, I almost made it through the whole battleground without dying. Oh, geez, what was it, like 15 bazillion damage, right? What? Yeah, hopefully Trump wins. I hope he wins. Yeah, probably be like, if Trump loses, there'll probably be like an assault on the White House, right? Just think if Trump loses, then he's like, it's rigged, it's hoaxed, charge the Capitol. I'm gonna have to pull out. I'm gonna have to hunker down in my apartment with my AK-47, you know. It could be pretty bad if he loses, actually. Oh well, last time he lost, there was a lot of people that they didn't charge the White House, but they definitely were heading towards the White House, and they weren't too happy. It was all a conspiracy theory. Like, there's no way they like tore through any of the windows. The windows are like military grade, like, you know, regular people can't go ripping through those windows. Trust me. So. I don't know if there's even any transmog gear in here. I wonder. Oh my god, one swing and they just all die. There. I wonder if any of this stuff will actually sell. You know. You never know, it might. Well, he lost the last election. I don't remember how many he won by the first time. He didn't win by a lot the first time either, but it was actually an upset. He wasn't supposed to win the first, you know. Wasn't supposed to win that first election. I didn't think he was going to win the first election either. I was like, no, no. I thought it was kind of a joke that he was even running, but, you know, people look at him as a businessman. You know, if you look at Kamala, Kamala's trying to basically she's going to raise interest rates like crazy. She's going to tax like crazy. Trump's not going to do any of that. He doesn't want to tax the people, whether they're rich or poor, whatever. What he wants to do is not tax anybody, and he wants to create more jobs for American people, and he wants to increase the minimum wage, increase the wages of people. He wants people to make more money so that they can then take that money and put it into the economy by buying houses and buying cars, and that's actually the fastest way the economy, the fastest way the economy goes up is if the American public is actually spending money, right? That's why, remember when here, hold on a second, I'm getting text. That's my wife. It's a golden retriever sliding down the snow hill. But remember when there was the pandemic, right? The pandemic with coronavirus, right? The reason the economy started to really have a little bit of a boom at the end of that is because the United States put out all the stimulus checks. They started giving people money. They said, oh, we know that a lot of people aren't working, they're losing money because of COVID. So the government went out and said, here's $1,600, and just started giving that to everybody in the United States. So that actually put a boost into the economy. So the inflation went down, and the inflation went up because of 2020, but the stimulus checks helped to inject money into the economy, which was a good thing. But then there's also a bad thing on the back end of that, because now the government's more in debt than they were before, because they had to print money. Printing money by the government's never a good thing. Yeah, exactly, Val. So Kamala wants to tax like crazy. She wants to raise taxes across the board. So I don't understand. Like, there's a person at my work today who just was flipping out, yelling at people, saying they're stupid, they don't understand economics. And I'm like, I agree. I'm not an economics major, but the one thing I do know is that if the people are spending money on goods and services, right? If people are going out and buying cars, they're buying homes, they're buying groceries, and they're buying clothing and all that stuff that consumers buy, that it's a good thing for the economy. That I do know. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't understand. And like I said, I'm not an economics major, but I understand one thing, and that's that Kamala will raise taxes and Trump won't. That's one thing I do understand. He will raise. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna raise them at all. He probably will. He says he probably isn't going to, but I'm sure he will. But I definitely know he won't raise them as much as Kamala will. You know. So who knows? But I think Trump will just be better for the economy. Now we'll see. A lot of people look at. Actually, there was a graph out there that shows like U.S. debt by president. There's actually an image out there. Let's see if I can find it really quick. So, if you look at like, let's see, this here, you can see that during the Trump administration that the U.S. debt went up, but it went up a lot here at the end because remember, at the end was the pandemic. So the pandemic caused the debt to go up because of all the stimulus. So that really wasn't his fault. And then you look at Biden, and of course it went up, right? It went up. But I mean, it's all gone up. I mean, it's just gotten worse. Actually, Clinton was really good, almost Eve level. Clinton didn't do much with the debt. That's pretty impressive. Of course, George Bush isn't. I don't like any of the Bushes, but it's really just this runaway train. So you can't really even blame the presidents just to a certain degree, because we've just let it get out of control. And and the only way they can seem to get it to like try to control is by printing more money, which makes it worse. So. Just makes it worse. She wants to tax unrealized gains. So if you own one Bitcoin and it goes up like $300, you now have to pay taxes on it even though you never sold it. Yeah, well, that's not going to go over too well. Yeah, the taxing unrealized gains is horrible. That's not even. It's like cheating, right? That just feels like it's cheating. Yeah, I mean, if she wins, I'm going to be really pretty depressed. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to politics, but I'll tell you one thing. If Kamala wins, I'm not going to be happy. Okay, I'm not going to be happy. And I'm not a huge Trump fan. I don't think Trump's like the greatest person. I think he's kind of a moron, but I just know that for the economy, he will do a better job than Kamala will. So, yeah. Which, as we've seen in Venezuela, well, there's a lot of countries that are like China. I mean, like Japan. Japan's almost completely economy almost fell apart. There's a lot of countries that are struggling after the pandemic with debt. And my coworker at work was saying that other countries admire the U.S. for how we handled the pandemic. I'm not so certain that that's true. I don't think we handled the pandemic very well. So I don't know how. Maybe other countries handled it worse. I don't really know, but I certainly don't think we handled it any super. I don't know. I consider myself someone who has their eyes open, and I feel like a lot of people are brainwashed into just believing whatever people tell them. So, with Sweden, yeah, and they probably were criticized initially, but it's actually they were probably criticized for that initially, but look at how it probably didn't tank their economy. They let people do their jobs, go to work. I mean, yeah, people got sick. I don't know. I mean, that stuff happens. I don't know. I haven't collected that appearance, so that's good, I guess, right? For walking there. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they had the curfews, yeah. Our inventory, sir. It is full. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what do you want?
I think a lot of people think that she'll be bad for Bitcoin, and I think she probably will be. But
Pleasure doing business
we don't
with
know
ya.
for sure. But I don't know. It's just it's like really depressing. I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk about it. It's like really depressing, to be honest. It's like depressing. No, it's okay. No, I mean you're all right. I just hope no, you're okay. My point is I just hope she doesn't win, because it will be, I think, really sad. But I don't think people realize how bad it will be for the economy, and it'll certainly be, it'll certainly be bad for Bitcoin. Ooh, we got the Circle of Flame. Look, we got the Circle of Flame. That's a good transmog. You're worse off. Yeah. You want to flee to the U.S.? I don't know, the U.S. is, I don't know, Canada, I always thought Canada seemed like a decent place to live. Canadian people are always really friendly. Got one of my favorite TV shows, Corner Gas. I'm a big fan of Corner Gas. My dog ran away, and he said that it took 3 days. Everyone, you think got him? It's going to shit. Got a lot going on. Listen close, baby, you're so wrong. I love me some Corner Gas, man. It's a great show.
Right side's low.
How about now?
Still low.
Now?
Low.
Now?
Now it's way
Now
too
it's
high.
way too high.
Is there something you need, Dad?
Yeah, when's that?
Wait a
Wait
minute.
a minute.
Would you like overworld mobs to be more than just 2-button? You mean like older world mobs? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't really like the Trailer Park Boys. But what's funny is my wife actually likes the Trailer Park Boys. Got a white kitty, black kitty, Tabby too, and another orange one who puts snakes in my shoes. That's from... Not really my show, but my wife actually thinks it's funny, so... I don't really have a problem with these old instances being like one-shots, just because people are just farming transmog gear. I do think it would be cool if they... the thing is, actually, I lean on the side of hardcore, like things being really difficult, so... So I would not have a problem with it being difficult, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, what I would like to see with the old dungeons is to have a mode where it's still viable for you to run as a max level character and still get loot that's like decent, like that could be like interesting loot. So I would love to see them you know, rework those dungeons to make them more difficult so that you could run them and they'd be fairly challenging. But, you know, it would take time. It's just an effort, you know, they have to put time in to do it, so. Okay. We're just grabbing some different transmog stuff. Why are these guys dying? I have... Oh, I still had Consecrate on the ground. That's funny. Like, these guys are running up to me and they're just all dying. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I would have no problem with it, you know, with that. I think that would be cool. Yeah. I think that would be cool. No, I definitely agree. I mean, no, I totally agree. I think it just comes down to time. I mean, you know, they're spending so much time. You know, they have very short timelines. You know, they have to, you know, constantly worry about the next expansion. So once they get one thing released, you know, they're very busy. They're extremely busy. The people that work on WoW. I will give them that credit for that. I mean, they're underpaid too. Excuse me, too. So. Yes.
Nature is beautiful.
Little fox. Ah, he's rubbing his butt across the grass. My wife sent me. My wife sent me the picture of this cute little fox walking across the yard, and then he stopped, lifts his back legs up, and starts dragging his ass across the grass because he's trying to wipe the poop off his butt. That's pretty funny.
Anchors away.
You tried all versions of WoW, and the only one that feels balanced between old progression and new combat is Cataclysm Classic. I didn't like Cataclysm Classic. Honestly, I didn't like Cataclysm Classic. I felt like the leveling experience wasn't very good. Like, it felt, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but when I played Cataclysm Classic, because I did play it when it first came out, I played it for like a week, and I really disliked it. I didn't like the leveling experience. It just felt weird. It didn't feel right. You know, I'd have to go back and play it again to re-remember what it was, but there was something about it I really disliked. To me, like, the best leveling experiences... I'd have to go back and look at the video, because I don't really remember, because this was a while ago. But I definitely didn't like it.
Go live! Shadow Priest is going to be easy mode.
So here I'm leveling up a... looks like an undead... or no, Shadow Priest.
Mode.
In... This says WoW Classic, though. Maybe I didn't save any of the Cataclysm. Here. Here. So I was leveling up a Paladin, looks like. Okay, I remember now. Just looking at this, I can already kind of remember why I didn't like it. So the reason I didn't like Cataclysm Classic is it's that whole really boring quest mentality, right? So the thing that's cool about, like, if you look at, like, no, that was this was not. This is the other one was this here is Cataclysm Classic. This here, you can see I'm in Vashir, but the reason I didn't like it, because I just had to see the video of it really quick, and it just kind of jogged my memory. Is like, if you look at Classic WoW, like when you do Classic, the leveling is so slow that you're focused more on like certain objectives. You're like, oh, I want to maybe get this quest done because I know there's maybe a good item for me that's a good upgrade, or you're like, oh, I want to do these dungeons because I know there's maybe some good gear, or it's just fun, I enjoy dungeons. But in Cataclysm Classic, it's not really like that. I don't focus on like, oh, I'm going to do these dungeons because there's gear I want. You don't even think about that. It's the first, in my opinion, iteration of a WoW expansion where the leveling experience becomes I don't care. It's like, I don't care. You're just leveling through it as fast as you can to get to end game. To me, that's the first version of WoW that's like that. And that's why I didn't like it, because I don't like that type of mentality. To me, the leveling to the max level should be part of the journey. It's the journey that makes the game fun. That's why Vanilla Classic is always, in my opinion, pretty much the best version of WoW. Because it was all about exploring the world, and you weren't always feeling like, I've got to rush, get to max level. You know what I mean? Because that just seems kind of stupid. Because it does take time to get to max level. So you try to do it, you know, and that's kind of my thought process on MMOs in general. It's like, if I was going to make my own MMO, I would make it incredibly difficult, and I would make the leveling very, very, very grindy. I like the grindy leveling process, because what I want is the leveling to be really, really grindy and really slow. So, like, for example, in Lineage 2, when I first did Lineage 2, the fastest player from Korea to get to max level in Lineage 2 took 6 months, and they were the fastest. 6 months. I actually like that, because it means that all these people are enjoying, and here's the thing. When are people nice to you in an MMO, right? When are people like nice to you in an MMO? People are nice to you in an MMO when they don't know everything about the game, right? Because if you go into an MMO, and that's why MMOs are really fun when they're brand new, because when people log into a brand new MMO, they don't know everything. They don't know all the quests. They don't know all the little tricks and the tidbits and the locations on the maps where things are, and you know, and all the little hidden secrets. They don't know everything. And so people ask questions because they don't know something. Like, oh, where's this at? Does somebody know where this is at? And then other people are actually happy and excited to answer the question. You know why? Because it makes them feel good that they're like, you know what, hey, I know the answer to this question. I'm a good MMO player. I actually know. I'm going to tell you, and not only am I going to make myself feel better because I'm like, hey, look at me, look what I accomplished. I know how to do this. But I feel better because I'm helping someone who doesn't know. But then later on, 2 or 3 years down the road, or maybe not even 2 or 3 years, maybe 6 months, Everybody knows everything. Nobody asks questions anymore because they don't need to know the answers. And if they don't know, and if they honestly don't know and they ask, everybody gives them stupid, smart aleck, like asshole responses. You know, your mama. You know, where can I find like the blacksmithing trainer? In your mom's bedroom. Yeah, that's the kind of shit you get, right? So the best version. So if you have an MMO where the leveling experience takes 6 months for the fastest person to get to max level, guess what that means? That means most people in the game, like 95% of the players after 6 months, aren't even max level. And what that means is 95% of the player base has not experienced everything there is to experience in the game. And what that means is that they are still asking questions. And there's people out there that are still asking questions too. And there's people out there that are going to group together to try to help each other because they don't know the answers and because they know it's easier to level as a group. Because a grindy MMO, you can level faster if you do it with a friend. Okay, so it promotes a better community. It promotes a longer time frame where people are nice to each other, and that's what I like. And that's what MMOs have gotten away from. Because most people complain and whine, cry like little babies. It's too hard. It takes too long. Hold on. The point of the MMO isn't getting to max level. The point isn't getting the best gear. The point of an MMO is to have fun. That's the point of every video game, is to have fun. Okay. So it shouldn't be about gear, it shouldn't be about eye level, it shouldn't be about power level. It should be about, let's make this game fun, right? And one of the best ways to make it fun is to make it so that players interact with each other and are nice to each other, you know? Create a happy, nice community. Like, when you go into Final Fantasy XIV, if you've never played it before, and you go to Final Fantasy XIV today, I just put in general, I've never played Final Fantasy XIV before, can someone help me with something? You're going to get a response. People are going to actively try to help you. Because Final Fantasy XIV actually has a really good community. If you do that in World of Warcraft, good luck. I mean, I tried to just get a 2's arena team together a couple days ago. I tried it for like 2 days straight, posting in general. Hey, newbie arena player, which I'm not, but I always say that because I don't want people to have high expectations. I say, oh, newbie arena player, just looking for somebody who's also not that good at arena, just to do some 2's and maybe get some conquest points and learn together, right? I posted that for 2 days. I didn't get one response. Not one. Not one person responded to me saying, hey, that sounds cool. I'd like to do some 2's arena. Not one person. That's pathetic. So imagine someone, let me read what you were saying. Like, I tried all versions of WoW. What do you mean weird? I think they started that mentally. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I would say what I like to call the noobification of WoW started as early as the Burning Crusade. And it got worse in Wrath of Lich King, and it became absolutely horrible. So in Cataclysm Classic was the first iteration of... I don't know if I have... Do I have a misprint? Yeah. So Cataclysm Classic was the first iteration of the questing that I absolutely disdain of more than any other questing. Where's my tools? There we go. And what I hate is when you have zones in a game, right? Like they say these are the zones of your MMO, right? You know? So let's say these are your zones, and let's say you start the game here. This is the starting point. And then this is level 1 through 10. And this is like 11 through 15, and maybe this is like 12 through 18, and this is like 20 through 26, and this is like 30 through 36, and this is like 36 through, I don't know, 45. First off, I hate this. I hate that zones have a dedicated level. I don't like that either. But what I hate is when you start the game and it's basically on this is questing on rails, because you're gonna have to go through here, and then you're probably gonna go either here or here. So you're gonna go here, and then you have the choice of either going here or here, right? And then you pretty much, from these, you have to go here, right? And then from here, you're probably gonna go here or maybe here, or maybe you go here for a few quests and then go here. But this is questing on rails, which I absolutely hate. The other thing is, this type of system, like in Cataclysm Classic, whatever, you go to these inside the zone, right? You have these little hubs. Here's a hub, here's a hub, here's a hub, and here's a hub. So you start the game off, you go here, there's a quest giver, he gives you 3 quests. You do the 3 quests. Then you go to this guy, he gives you 3 quests. Then you do the quest. Then you go to this guy, he gives you 4 quests. And then you do the quest, you go to this guy, he gives you 4 quests. And then you do the quest, and then you move to the next zone. That makes me want to puke. Okay, so Cataclysm Classic was the first version of WoW that basically started pretty much this style of leveling, and I hate this style of level. I can't even do it. So when I was playing Cataclysm Classic, I played it for a couple days, and once I realized this is what was going on, I quit. I said I won't do that. And that's why the War Within is actually a lot better, because in the War Within they've done a lot of stuff where you don't have to do that. Like, the only thing you really kind of have to do is you do need to go through the story to a certain point to open up world quests, but then once you've opened up the world quest on one character, you don't have to do the story quest anymore. Like, every time I create a new character, I don't have to do the story quest. I can just go to zones and just do any quest. I can go here and pick up this quest. Lights out. I can go here and pick up this quest. I don't have to do the blue ones, which are like the story, or not the blue ones, but like this one here, the ones with the point at the bottom of the shield. This denotes or designates a main story quest. So does this one, because it's got that little point at the bottom of the shield. I don't have to do those, though. I can completely ignore those, which is great. And then also, for example, for PvP progression, like, I don't even have to do 2's arena or 3's arena to get conquest points. I don't even have to do battlegrounds to get conquest points. I can literally go into PvP and queue up arena skirmishes, which is just sample skirmishes, and I get conquests if I win those. I can do a special brawl like this one, and I get quests. I get daily, or I get, I think, weekly quests. I think they're weekly, where it's just, hey, kill so many players in epic battlegrounds, and turn the quest in, and you get like 120 conquest points. Complete this special Arathi Basin event, and when you win this one, you get 120 conquest points. Win 10 arena skirmishes, and when you complete this quest, you get a bunch of conquest points. Or you can just fly around the zones, right? You can just fly around these zones, right? And if you're lucky, you will see a flying crate that flies through the air, a ship, and it lands on the ground and drops a war supply crate. And the war supply crate, when you loot it, gives you 60 conquest points and gives you a bunch of honor. So you have so many ways to get conquest points, so many ways to get honor, and so many ways to level. You don't have to follow the quests. You can do whatever you want. And that's what I like. And that's why I think the War Within is by far the best WoW expansion since Wrath of the Lich King, right? I would say, to me, this is the best WoW expansion they've done since Wrath of the Lich King. Calf is very toxic to noobs in VC. The Wikipedification of gaming. Yeah, yes, Ashley, it did, for sure. MMOs were fun and mysterious, but yeah, the data mining hurt everything. Putting everything on websites hurt everything. Like, that's why MMOs were really cool before the internet was really a thing. Like, back in 2000, like, even when WoW first came out, because I've been playing WoW ever since beta in 2003, or I think 2004. I was in the beta on Doomhammer, and they're just the only thing that was out. The only website that was up there was like that one website. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there was one website that had some information. But yeah, Thoughtbot. I think that was like the only one. Thoughtbot I think was the only one. And and if you go, what's really fun is do this. Actually, let's do. I don't think it was World of Warcraft. It might have been World of Warcraft. Actually, let's just go Blizzard. Okay, December. I think WoW came out in November of 2004, if I remember correctly. Oh man, here we go. So this is what Blizzard's website looked like, in 2004, And you can see new World of Warcraft wallpaper. I love it because some of the stuff you click and it's still, most of it's not going to be there, but some of it, it'll actually find it. December 1st, 2004, World of Warcraft shatters records. Within its first day of release, World of Warcraft sold more than 240,000 copies, the highest one-day total in PC game history. So this is kind of what, you know, the WoW site looked like in 2004. Of course, you can pull up ThoughtBot too, you know. Here's Night Elf cinematic art, right? So here's some really, oh man, look at this Korean magazine cover. Oh, interesting. I don't have that one. Most of these images I have, I don't have that one. Stormwind map. I bet the Stormwind map is different than the current one. What? This is not pure ref. And here's the, oops. Stormwind map. Look at that. That doesn't look anything at all like today's Stormwind map, probably. Pretty cool, huh? It's actually in like a frame, too. It's kind of cool.
These constructs once protected the Isle, but this one's programming has been damaged. It will not distinguish between friend and foe.
I don't know where this is. I don't know where this quest is. Maybe it's in here. This is the Horde Embassy. I don't think it's going to be in there. Archives. Oh, it's that first disc quest. Let me see. You just want to go back, bring back the CRT auditors? Yeah. Well, I actually said that if someone offered me a chance to go back to like 1985, also, if someone honestly said to me today, if you could go back to 1985 and be like 15 years old again, knowing everything you know right now, would you do it? And I'd be like, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I would get rid of all the technology, all the internet, and I would go back to 1985 in a heartbeat. I think quality of life was much better. Everything about living back then, in my mind, was more enjoyable. I wouldn't be sitting here playing video games. I'd be playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, or hanging out with my friends, or you know what I mean, or playing tennis, you know, whatever, you know. Alright, so there's some sort of quest here, right?
The machines must be preserved.
It's probably in here. I think, yeah, I think pre-90s. I think to me, the 80 to 90 was, at least in the United States, was, I feel like, and our economy was really good too. I mean, in the United States, 1980, 1990 was.
Did you find something?
The economy,
make sure to take notes.
You know, the economy was really strong.
The great titan Khazgaroth who granted me the gift of the Forge, has relayed information from the Pantheon about our purpose. To create order from the chaos of the cosmos, the Titans search the great dark beyond for the Prime World Soul.
Okay, and if you guys haven't figured it out yet, the reason my game is so dark is because of this potion. This potion's called Inky Blackness, and it envelops you in darkness. And the really cool thing about this is that when you have this potion, this is what's cool about it, is this particular battleground is really snowy, and it's really hard to see stuff. But when you use this potion in this specific custom battleground, you can actually see better. So check this out when I consume the potion, how the view becomes easier to see, you know, the distance. See how, like, now I'll take the potion around 20 seconds in. And I think the potion is in one of my other bags. So I actually search for it. Let's see. I took it. I did take it. Damn it, I wanted to see when I took it, because you could actually... Now watch when I drink the potion. See, I just drank it. See how the screen just went dark? I think there's another... Let's see. Alright, so here's the next one. It's a better view of me taking the potion. I do this one at like 20 seconds in, I think. Let's see. Now watch when I... Actually, I'm drinking it right now. Watch when I drink the potion how the whole, everything gets dark and really cool looking. Yeah. Okay, drinking potion right now. Everything, look how it, like it changed dark, but look how I can see the distance, like my viewing distance increases. Like watch, everything is really cloudy here, and I can't see like anything, it's just fog. Now, after I took it, look, I can see the water between here and Blacksmith. I can see the hill. I can see some of the lights down the roads, like, you know, little fireplaces and stuff. And I can see like the background. So it gives you a much better viewability on that particular map, which someone told me that, and I was really excited about that. I was like, that is so cool. It's like that's one of the cool things in World of Warcraft. You know, when where you find little neat things like that. You know, so super cool. The potions are really cheap on the auction house. They're only like 4 gold each or something. So I bought 100 of them. They're called Inky Black Potion. Darkens the world around you, and it lasts for like 2 hours, or an hour or 2 hours. And of course, it doesn't last through death though. Would have been cool if it lasted through death. All right, so Ashley, thoughts on my last statement? I'm less about collect 10 troll ears and more about mechanics testing. Like send me as a warrior to defend a farmer being attacked by advice no one, or send me as road. Yeah, see, that's fine. Ashley, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I don't want the 10 collect this or whatever. Yeah, and that's why Guild Wars 2, when Guild Wars 2 came out, I thought it was really kind of in a little bit like evolutionary to some degree, because you had the dynamic quests, which, you know, we've had dynamic quests in other MMOs, but it was really cool. Like when Guild Wars 2 first came out, I don't know if you've played Guild Wars 2, but it's a great game. When it first came out, it was so cool because you could just create your character, and immediately there's an event. Like, well, I started the human area. Immediately there's this event around the human area where these centaur are attacking. It's a good game that you hate, but there's these centaur attacking the village. So right off the bat, there's these centaur attacking the village, and you can choose to talk to like the NPC and go through the quest, but you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to, because if you just walk, you know, down the road, and you'll there's different things you'll find they'll be like little farmers. They'll say, hey, my crops are under attack, can you help me clear out these beasts? You know, you don't necessarily have to go and talk to anybody. People will talk to you. Or like there might be a cart coming down the road that says, hey, do you want to help me escort my cart to the next city? You know, just little things. You know, I love dynamic questing, you know. Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with you there. The combat system is not great. My favorite combat systems are Terra's got a great combat system, and it has better weight to it than pretty much almost any combat system. You know, Terra's really, really good. If you look at, let's see.
Instead of a big number.
So,
well, Mob White.
My friend here, my friend here, Alkalite, Rush did this video 11 years ago, and I still go back to this video all the time because it's so cool. So, what does action combat really mean?
By which things whack each other in the face in this genre. Hey fans, this is a video about MMO combat mechanics and damage calculation, which is a funny thing to make a video about, but I'm frankly sick of trying to explain this to people through the means of excessive text, and have them still fail to understand what I'm saying. MMO combat in general is pretty rubbish, but over the last few years there have been some advancements in the fundamental method by which things whack each other in the face in this genre. Along with those improvements...
UK for UT99 is my favorite game of all time, actually. I was a UT99 like almost pro level player. I competed in tournaments and was insanely good. I was so good in UT99 I got banned off servers all the time because people thought I was cheating, but I wasn't cheating. And it's actually where my character named Shady Hex comes from in World of Warcraft. I created that name in World of Warcraft because in UT99 people always said I was hacking because I would be killing everybody. I'd be headshotting him with a sniper rifle. I'd be headshotting him with a shock rifle, and just taking him out. And people kept blaming me for cheating. I was too good. My aim was too good. I got banned off servers, but it was just because I was that good. I wasn't cheating, and so people were saying I was shady, that I was hacking, and so that's how when I was creating a character in World of Warcraft one day I came up with the name Shady Hex, and it was just a play on those two words of people calling me shady and hacking in an Unreal tournament. Yeah, you don't really need the crosshair, and I always went hidden weapon view, so like if you go here, because I was a 135-35 player or a 155-55 player, right?
This is a guy, this is kind of like...
So I did this video, I don't know, like, I did this one 8 years ago, and it was me just kind of showing like how I used to, because obviously I'm terrible at Unreal Tournament now because I don't play FPS anymore. I'm a lot older. I'm 54 years old. This was back when I was in my late 20s. But the reason I got so good at Unreal Tournament was because I was married a long time ago and I got divorced, and I was so depressed about all that all I did was play on. All I did, no joke, I got up, played Unreal Tournament for like an hour, took a shower, went to work. My work was right across the street from my apartment. Came home for lunch, played an hour of Unreal Tournament, went back to work, finished my day, came home from that, went to the bar, drank about 10, usually went to the pub, drank about 5 or 10 beers. That was probably later. I came home from work, and I played Unreal Tournament for about 8 hours straight. And I did that like every day for like 3 years straight. That's all I did. Because I was in like such a depressive state from my divorce that's what I did. I basically just played UT, and I got like insanely good, like ridiculously good. But anybody's gonna get good if all you do is play. I played like 8 to 12 hours a day every day for like 3 years.
Like my kind of funny Twitch response, able to look anywhere,
so
off a headshot. The enemy to hit you, moving, but because it's left and right to do your dodges.
So here I'm talking about, basically what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about how, like, so this is how I played Unreal Tournament. All I did hidden weapon view, so you didn't see my gun. All I had was the little dot cursor, the little dot aim. This little dot right here is my aiming cursor, and I usually use the gold color. This is about 6 pixels in size. That's all it is this little tiny dot. So that's what you're trying to put on the people set. But what I did here was I did this in, I think this is 135-35 speed. I don't think I did low grav on this one, because what I was trying to show you is this is how someone who comes into Unreal Tournament, if they want to improve their aim, this is a great map to do it on, because it's Dex 16, has all these elevations. So, and the screen's going to look really, it's going to look insane because I use really high mouse sensitivity, which means when I move my mouse left and right, the screen moves very quickly. I used a lot higher mouse sensitivity than most players in Unreal Tournament. I was very high. And that's really good for very quick, quick twitch shots and stuff like that. It's very good for handling defense, for people that try to circle around you. You'll see me do this thing where I'm shaking the screen, and that's just I do that when I want to like get my brain to kind of open up. Like I'll take the mouse and I'll shake the screen left and right really fast. I'm trying to get my eyes to get used to the movement, and I'm trying to get my brain to let go and just kind of relax. So it's also a way to get my hand to relax. And so this is basically going against bots that are all set to a very high skill level. And it's also, everybody's going to sniper rifle. So, you know, you're going to get killed a lot. And so what you do, and here's the reason this map is so good is because of these elevations. So people can be shooting at you from up here, from here, from here. They can be shooting at you from down here. So it's really good because it forces you to have your head on a swivel. You have to take account for everybody being anywhere. And if you just, you know, this was what I always called the Deck 16 training, like back in, you know, like 2000-ish, you know, when you, or 1999, 2000. This was a great way to get your aim down. You would do, all you'd have to do is maybe do like an hour of this every day. Like I would just recommend it to players to when they first got into Unreal Tournament to jump into Deck 16, set this up the way I set it up here, spend about an hour doing this, and then go on and play your regular game modes that you want to play, and then just do that once a day. And if you want to really get good, I would do it an hour before you log off too. So do an hour in the beginning, go play your game, then do another hour at the end before you go to bed. And do that every day, and within like a month, you're going to see your aim get like unbelievably like exponentially better. And it, anyways, so yeah, I came from FPS as well, so yeah, I was a big fan. I did Instagib too. I played in Instagib clans, quite a few actually. In fact, these are screenshots from Unreal Tournament 1999. You can see by the size of the screenshot, it's literally tiny. So these are me, like this was an Instagib match, so this is me. I was in a guild at this point called DSK, I don't remember what it stood for, something killers. You know, these are just, you know, me, like, screenshots of me playing. This is me doing my favorite game mode, which was low gravity. It's basically low gravity, 135, 35, 135 game speed, 35 air control, rockets only, so rocket launcher only. It's by far my favorite game mode and my favorite map, you know, facing worlds. You can see here, you know, I'm the best player in this map. I'm the best player here. I'm the best player here. You know, I'm pretty much the best player in almost all these games. Look at this one. And the cool thing about Unreal Tournament is you could change your name. Every time you logged in, you could change your name. You just open up your screen and type in a name, right? That was so you could alias all the time, and people did all the time. But you started to catch on to people's aliases, so you knew who was who. But I would change my name all the time, you know. You know, this is probably when I first, this guy here, Avi, was really good. This is when I first started getting into Instagib, because I didn't play Instagib initially. And also, this was, I believe, no, I think this was still 1999. I don't think this was 2003. But this is when I first did Instagib. I wasn't like as good as the other players because it wasn't the mode that I played. Plus it was 155, 55, so it was 155 game speed, 55 air control. So it was different than the mode I played. The mode I played for years was 135, 35. So I had to get used to the faster speed. I get used to the greater control while you're in the air. But once I did that, I got pretty good. But this guy here, Avi, was probably, or Avi. Avi was one of the best Instagib players I ever played with. He was insanely good. But it didn't take me too long to get pretty good at it. You know, sexy Mandy. But in Rockets, though, in 135 Rockets, there was maybe 1 or 2 people in the United States that could even beat me. Like, and that's not even like a joke. I mean, honestly, in this mode, on this map, like, there was only probably a handful of people in the United States that could probably even beat me. I mean, there might have been more, but out of the ones I played against, there was only a couple, you know, that could beat me. And even those games would have been really close. But anyways, yeah, you can see I've got all kinds of old screenshots. The funny thing is the name I went under the most. And then I did play 2003. 2003 Unreal Tournament. But, you know, I kind of had been away from the game for a while when I did. So, I wasn't as good at it, really, because it wasn't really, like, something that I was focusing on as much. You know, I was at that point, I was kind of getting out of playing FPS. But you can see I still have the Unreal Tournament installer for Windows 10. I still have the Game of the Year installer. Actually, that's just the, is that the EXE? No, that's just the No Delta. And then of course I have all the original bonus packs. So I and the patches. So the No Delta EXE is the one that allows you not to have to, because this is basically the CD-ROM. This is back when you had to install the game via CD-ROM, and you actually had to have the CD and a CD drive to play the game. But this patch here will get rid of that, so you don't have to have the actual game CD in your CD-ROM drive. It doesn't need it, right? It'll just use the files that are in the installed location. So back to this.
New opportunities for different kinds of gameplay, which otherwise didn't really exist. Unfortunately, the new ideas of that combat gameplay have been mostly ignored or misunderstood by people who continue to play those games.
The elements of Classic that put me off now is it's mostly how it's more about gear than skill. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the one thing that's pretty cool, like I say, the one thing with this expansion, like the War Within, that I can say is it's a lot more about skill. Because everybody pretty much has, like in PvP, everybody pretty much has the same gear, right? Like when you go into it's like this isn't a version of WoW PvP where you have to go into like some crazy raid and get some crazy like lucky drop on one specific trinket. You know, it doesn't work that way. Everybody, pretty much almost everybody, there might be a few outliers, but most people are going to be running full PvP gear, which means you are going to be pretty much on the exact same playing field as probably like 90% of the players. So, yeah. You're PvE only in your RPGs. Yeah, so, but anyways, I'm just saying, so that the cool thing about PvP is it's more about skill and not so much about gear.
As if they were playing World of Warcraft. Now, I understand that MMOs aren't exactly a competitive genre, and improving your own play by fully exploiting the mechanics of a game is a foreign concept to many of these people. But we're missing out on something great because too many of you only understand how to walk up to a wolf and press 1, 2, 3, 4. The biggest changes that games like Terra, Vindictus, or to some degree Guild Wars 2 have brought to MMO combat are found in the way in which attacks are modelled. How the game determines what's being...
So he goes through and basically he's just talking about hitboxes and how combat works in a game like Terra. Because you actually have to, you know, when you swing your sword, it's not an automatic hit. Like in WoW, and actually he shows in WoW, like when you swing your sword, as long as you're like kind of pointing at the right direction and you're within the range, you're going to hit. So watch this part here.
This visually using a few different games, and the obvious place to start is with WoW.
WoW.
So here it is.
WoW
in WoW, you press buttons to deal damage. Not a complicated process, and it isn't very complicated behind the scenes either. To use a targeted ability, I select a mob, and I press a button like this. Now, the moment I press this button, my client checks my range to the target, and if it's within the required distance, it sends that input to the server, which checks the same. It then applies damage to the target. Now, the astute among you may have noticed that my character hasn't even swung a weapon yet, but that's okay, because the swing of a weapon really doesn't have anything to do with dealing damage in Warcraft. Nope. This damage calculation is immediate, and the animation of my character...
He's going to show here how he can swing facing away from the mob, and it's still going to hit.
Attacking is just a convenient bit of feedback that occurs after.
See, like he's not even facing the mob, and he swings, and it still hits.
Afterwards. Notice, of course, that the weapon of my character also doesn't come anywhere close to the target.
Yeah, look, he's swinging here, and notice how his dagger's nowhere near the target, but he's still hitting it.
I wave it meekly in the air within the general vicinity, and the mob falls over. For area attacks like Cone of Cold, which do not require a target...
Now here he's showing you how he starts casting while facing the target, but then spins his character away, so the actual animation is shooting away from the target, and yet it still hits the target, because when he started casting, he was facing.
The server immediately decides what's in the area at the point when the button's pressed, applies damage, and then an animation is played afterwards, which may...
See how he kind of started to cast and he actually pointed the other way? So even though he's casting the spell, what looks like this way, it still hits the target.
It may not come anywhere close to the target that you dealt damage to. Of course, the same applies to mob attacks. While mob white damage has an animation, if you ever see this animation play, it means you've already been hit. Mobs will continuously attack anything within their attack radius, no matter how you move around, regardless of where their little animated pincers appear to be swinging. So why does attacking in Warcraft still feel solid and satisfying when your character isn't really ever hitting anything? Well, that feeling of satisfaction comes from feedback, and the feedback WoW offers comes in the form of solid sound effects and big obvious damage numbers on the user interface. When you throw an attack out in Warcraft, you don't look at the attack itself, you're not watching the animation, you wait to see the big crit damage number pop up. Now, you could argue that this is just a cosmetic issue and the gameplay isn't really impacted by these mechanics, but more recent games which change this method of hit detection have offered significantly different gameplay precisely because they do all of this differently. So moving slightly up in the world from WoW, here's Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2 features tab targeting, and most targeted attacks will automatically face and follow your target, which sounds a lot like Warcraft, but here are some differences. Firstly, both the mob and most player attacks do not instantly calculate damage at the point they are used. Even for melee attacks, pressing the button only starts an animation, which will eventually deal damage if, and only if, there is something in the area when the...
So what he's trying to show here is that once the polar bear starts to attack, all he has to do is move out of the way, because the polar bear has an area of attack here that he's swinging in, and so if you're not in that area, you're not going to get hit. It doesn't work that way in World of Warcraft. If he started to swing and you were within his range, it doesn't matter that you move out of the area, you're still going to get hit.
The animation completes. This is a massive deal, because it means firstly that you can see incoming attacks, even melee attacks, before they connect, and secondly it means that if you are moving and leave the damage area after an attack has begun, it won't connect. You might compare this to a casted area damage effect in Warcraft, like a flame strike, which has a casting animation and can be avoided by leaving the area, but this mechanic is practically untouched in WoW and of no consequence in PvP at all. In Guild Wars 2, their animations and damage calculation mean that just about everything works in that fashion.
Yeah, the problem that I've always had with Guild Wars 2 is the character never felt grounded. Like, when you're in WoW, you really feel like your feet are touching the ground. Like, when I'm walking around, I don't know, it just feels like, you know, it feels, let's get rid of this. It feels like my feet, you know, are on the ground, you know. Here, let's get rid of my, let's get rid of this. So, you know, when I jump and stuff, it feels pretty solid. You know, and a lot of that's due to the animation, and a lot of it's due to how the shadow beneath, and actually I have my graphics turned down because my computer's getting too old and it can't really run shit as well anymore. I'm actually ordering a new computer within the next day or two, so that's going to go away because I'm getting a super ridiculously good computer, which I'm not happy about spending the money, but you know, it is what it is. So if we go to the graphics and we go to the shadow quality, let's put this to ultra high, and let's put the saturation high, and let's do the particle density off. Yeah, Rift was one of my favorite. Look at how the game actually got darker but you can see the shadows now is a lot different. You can see more of a, you know, like it's not just a circle. It doesn't look that good. We don't have, I think it must be, we don't have a lot of light here, unfortunately. Yeah, oops.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
There's a little bit more light here. You can see my shadow. So we don't have just a circle beneath my feet. So, and they've even got some like, yeah, just, you know, you can see the shadows. But it feels nice. Like if I walk really slow here, you know, the walk cycle is really nice. You know, the other thing that's really good in World of Warcraft is pretty much all this stuff is created in a way that you can climb on it. You know, see how you can climb on things? WoW does a great job of making the environment very accessible, right? And a lot of MMOs don't do this. You know, a lot of MMOs don't do this at all. A lot of MMOs, if you got to like this, it'd be like just an invisible wall. But in WoW, it's not usually like that. See how I can go all the way in here? A lot of MMOs don't do this. You know, and I guarantee you I can probably climb up on this wall a little bit. Well, maybe not. But a lot of walls you can. These you can't. Here we go, let's see. Right? You know, just like this kind of stuff. How I can climb, you know, climb up mountains. You know, a lot of MMOs don't handle this hardly at all. You know, the character controller is the most responsive. The character controller, the way it moves, is the most responsive character controller, I think, of any MMO. And a lot of that has to do with the turn rate. Like when you move one direction and you go back, the turn is immediate, which isn't realistic. Like in the real world, when someone turns, they don't really turn this fast. But for an MMO, it works because of combat requirements. Because the feeling of moving one direction and turning back the other, you know, especially like in a raid situation where a big boss is throwing stuff at you, it's a lot more beneficial. It feels more responsive. So some MMOs don't do this. Some MMOs you'll run one way and when you turn, it'll do like your character will kind of slow down and then turn, and maybe when you stop and turn, they might slide a little bit. And although it's more realistic and it looks cool, it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as responsive. So the WoW has the most responsive character controller I think of any MMO that I've ever played, to be honest. It just feels really good, and you can see how we can climb on things and fall down, and everything is really the terrain is so you can interact with it, and you can climb over everything, and there's no boundaries. There's nothing that really stops you. Like if I see something out here in the world, I can pretty much go to almost all of it. I can go to this mountain here and go to this mountain here. So which is all really good. Yeah, this is, I don't know, this is like the Dark Ranger one I got from the shop. I liked it. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I thought it looked okay for my paladin here. I don't have a lot of great transmog gear, but I thought this was pretty cool looking.
And so it can be avoided through movement.
But he was talking about Guild Wars 2 and how there's there's the combat's different, but then when you get to the ultimate in combat, which at the time was Terra, so let's go back to this. And Terra was
admittedly open world.
Terra was my favorite MMO combat. It almost probably to this day is still my favorite.
Leveling in Guild Wars 2 was trivial and boring, and turned into large-scale public event farming for money. Their decision to drop the class truancy worked out poorly for them, and their dungeon PvE encounters were bad. But those are not problems created by their way of calculating damage. And finally, at the extreme opposite end of the scale to Warcraft, you have Terra. Wait, let me find that rogue melee clip again, because I want to put these side by side.
World of Warcraft?
Wet fish.
Wet fish. Boom.
Ow. Damn, do I even need to comment on that? So yeah, this is what it looks like when, instead of a big number for a crit on your user interface, you do combat feedback through the animation of hitting something really hard in the face with a giant.
And notice how
feedback through the animation of hitting something really hard in.
Notice how this mob is going to swing down and slam the ground, so he moves this way. So
the face.
You can just easily avoid getting hit in Terra because it's all based on hitboxes. Your character has hitboxes in different locations. There's I think 6 of them at least, and the mob's weapon has to collide with your hitbox to do damage. So
the giant hammer. I was going to do a comparison to a paladin, but I never got around to logging one on. But moving on, that's the cosmetic difference, and I really want to talk about the gameplay differences. I'm just making a note that Terra feels satisfying in a way that you could never achieve with the WoW.
So this video was good. It was like 11 years ago, but he's just talking about the difference in combat. And anyways, I gotta go, guys, because I gotta spend some time with my wife before she goes to bed, and I'm kind of tired. And I still have to come back and try to do some PvP and get my rating up. I'm also might be doing some Star. I don't know. Might be doing some Star Citizen too. Might be doing some Star Citizen as well. Might play a little Star Citizen tonight as well. I am going to be ordering a new computer within the next couple days. I'm getting a 4080 Super video card. I'm going to be running a Intel i9 14900K processor with 64 gig of probably Corsair Vengeance RAM. No, fuck AMD. I hate AMD. And yeah, I fucking hate AMD, dude. AMD's garbage. I'm not an AMD fan. No, I'll run my Intel Cape, my 14900. And I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. I don't know if we have a comparison. Let's see. I'm going to be running Intel. I'm going to be running the K. I don't know if we have a comparison.
From 0% test scaling, but it's just 0% test scaling.
Now you can see it's not as good. Now this is CPU benchmark. The Intel i9. Now this is versus some. You can see the AMDs are beating it out, right? But I mean, how much do these AMDs cost? I have no idea.
Starfield is another one that shows scaling for Intel, sort of, or at least Intel has managed to wedge itself at the top of the chart to supplant those pesky X3D CPUs. The 14900K's 132 FPS average has it 2.8% ahead of the 13900K with the 1470.
That's pretty cool. So you can see here the Intel outperforms everything on Starfield for this particular specific test. I wonder how it does. You know, actually that's something I need to do. Is it good for our citizen? Yeah, well, one thing I want to do is I want to look at 7,000 Intel game PC for Star Citizen.
What parts should you buy for a Star Citizen PC build in?
But I do want to spend some time doing that before I buy my computer. I do want to research how certain video cards and certain processors handle Star Citizen, because it could be a pretty big deal. But I'm pretty certain that I just like Intel. I think Intel's. I've had Intel my entire life, and I've never had issues with Intel processors. And I've had one AMD processor, and it was complete garbage. I want to show you this video that Blue showed me. It was really cool. Hold on one second. See if I can find it really quick. That's not it. Yesterday. No. It's this guy. Check out this guy's Star Citizen like setup, man. This is awesome. I'll check out Gamer Nexus, but you're not gonna. I don't care. Even if the reviews say that the Intel's worse, I still won't buy AMD. I am an Intel Andy baby. Yeah, I would have to see some significant evidence that it's worse, like significant. And I have not seen that. I'll look at Gamer Nexus because I've watched quite a few Gamer Nexus videos the last few days. But even if he says it's worse, I still would not want to. I just don't like AMD. But anyways, check out this guy's Star Citizen setup.
It has been over a year from my previous Star Citizen cockpit tour, and with some major changes, like the big curved screen here,
look at this
I
guy's
think
screen.
It's time for another one. So, this is my completely insane Star Citizen cockpit, because there is no overkill for Star Citizen.
There really isn't. There really isn't.
And before you get all excited in this video like this, referral code, I pay €100. But
So this is what he used to have, was the monitor, the three curved monitors. But then of course you obviously have the big beam in the middle, which sucks, of course, right?
Learned a lot when building my
But check how people build out their cockpits, and they build up their HUDs, which is awesome. I mean, if you could, I would love to have something like this, but I can't even imagine how much money. I've seen people build these screens out that aren't too expensive. I don't know about these switches. I'm not an electronics person. I don't know how hard this would be to set up. It probably wouldn't. I imagine because Star Citizen is such a big. There's so many people that do this for Star Citizen. There's so many people that build this type of stuff. I imagine there's probably some pretty good information out there on where to get the components.
Previous setup, and as I said, I enjoy building the stuff. So I built the next iteration from 21mm plywood. This build ended up costing me about €800 in plywood. It's more expensive, and I used more electric components.
I played Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is really fun. I actually played Elite Dangerous. I liked it a lot.
It would have sufficed, but I first planned the cockpit for 22mm MDF and couldn't be arsed to make any bigger changes in the plans. There's a link to the build video and to my plans
that
you can download for free in the description. And since any larger wouldn't be benefit, the screen. This is something I wanted ever since I saw the Water project. I decided to go with 180 degrees since any larger wouldn't be beneficial with most of the games outside basically DCS.
Look at that.
And also since 4K ultra short projectors are expensive. This was the most expensive part of my project and ended up costing me total about €4,000, including the projectors, the screen, the paints and so on. I'm using two Optima UHD 35 STXs here just because they were the cheapest 4K projectors I could make the setup work with. I built a screen frame in my basement and then assembled and painted it in this room.
But I mean, look at all the tools this guy has. I mean, I couldn't build this. I don't have any of these tools. I mean, it would just cost me so much money just to buy the right tools to actually do this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? This guy's obviously someone who enjoys building stuff and has Probably a pretty extensive, you know, tool shed or workshop, work area.
16. The image from the projectors can't be displayed on the curved surface as is. Instead, the image is warped with the software called Immersive Display Pro. It's naturally not as sharp as you would get with big 4K displays, but I like the immersion of this option. And if you wonder why I'm not using VR, I also have a video about that. Link in the description. As I mentioned before, the cockpit was designed and built by me, and I have the plans available for download and lots of build videos on this channel.
So it's cool. He does have designs and build videos on how he did this stuff. But there's so many. Like if you just go to YouTube and do Star Citizen, you know, cockpit build, there's a ton of these, and they're pretty crazy. You know, I've seen this one before. This one's insane.
Let's take a look at the state of the sim pit in 2020. There are many sim pits out there, but this one is mine. Built from scratch, customized and upgraded over the years, changing to fit ever-evolving needs. It features 3 integrated displays and hundreds of inputs. But I'm someone who has a need to constantly improve and to make things that push the limits. And with this sim pit, you'll find features that are unique to this configuration. We'll begin with display.
Yeah, he's even got this like arm display that he can pull over.
And the highlight of the integrated display technology is a holographic targeted computer. And using a Pepper's Ghost hologram, operating in much the same manner to a heads-up display in a car or aircraft. Contained in a bespoke box and an articulated piston arm, it can be positioned wherever needed. The targeting computer can be used as an auxiliary display, but more importantly, it can be used to see what your gunner is seeing in real time, and because of the transparency, it doesn't block your own field of view. With a little practice, shifting the focus of your eyes allows you to see what's on the holographic targeting display or past it. The hologram, and like with the flight controls, twisting up allows us.
Yeah, stuff's crazy. There's some ghetto dude with IBM keyboard and some cheap Amazon base of SDK Pro. Yeah, yeah. Well, you want to... Yeah, there's... I'm not going to lie. I did a mission last night in Star Citizen, and I just came back to playing Star Citizen, and I haven't played it in a long time. And I did my first mission on this character, and it took me like an hour at least. It was like 45 minutes to an hour to finish the mission. I mean, and that wasn't, it took me longer than that. It took me like 3 hours, but it took me like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to kill the 3 mobs I had to kill. Like, it was so hard because I hadn't played, I mean, I'm just using a keyboard and a mouse, and these were like, you know, fighters. I was going up against like pretty super fast fighters, and even with just the enemy AI, it was tough. I'm not going to lie, it was tough. I got a lot better after 45 minutes of trying to take these ships out. I will say that I took no damage. My ship took no damage during the entire encounter because I was good enough to evade getting hit, but it was just hard to hit them, you know. So this guy here, Avenger 1, he's one of the best Star Citizen PvPers I've seen. He's real. I don't know if he still is one of the best, but he's really good. If we can get into some PvP matches.
Insight for what you want, because you actually want to shoot.
This guy is like insanely good. Let's see if we can find like, if there's any like, and he actually has, he talks about how to get better, and he's got some pretty cool videos out there. And I think he was like a pilot in real life. Let's see, salvage. So here you see him. He says he's in a Blade, and he's going up against Blade versus Kane. I don't know.
Oh, it's not reloading my guns. The Hurricane just bullies. And we've taken, like, we're already critical damage, and our shields are down almost immediately as soon as we engage, so we got to be so careful here. But again, right, it just goes to show, like, the insane damage application power of a Hurricane.
Yeah.
I doubt we're going to be able to pull this one off, boys. Like, even at... There's only two ways to fight a hurricane: super far or super close. Now it's on me.
He's almost passing out.
I gotta apply damage to it here. All right, here we go. Try to get in on it here. The turret can just track. Could do some damage.
Like right there, how he swinged from the right back to the left and stayed on target. That's actually really hard to do with a mouse, because when you turn and you rotate back to the left here, you're just using your Q key, like your kind of roll key, and it's really fast. I might be able to adjust the speed at which it turns, but it's really hard to do that. Watch how he does.
Could do some damage to it here. Here we go.
And see how this ship turns right here, and how he keeps his. Like, you've got your aiming cursor, and you've got basically where your bullets are really going to go. It kind of follows in this little like red square. You want to get the red square on, and sometimes your aiming cursor will be like way ahead, and the red square will lag behind. And sometimes if this ship slows down, you've got to bring your aiming cursor back, and then that's going to bring your red square closer. But you'll see how this ship turns, and he's able to like make this smoothly transition up behind him. Whereas when I'm using my keyboard and mouse, if a ship turned like that, when I would turn with the Q key to kind of roll, my aiming cursor here would fly way over here like really quickly. And there's really no way to slow it down, because the keyboard doesn't have the sensitivity it needs, whereas he's using like joysticks, so he's got joysticks that are way more sensitive. Now, it's possible I may be able to adjust the sensitivity. I don't know of the keyboard, but all I can say is that, you know, it's very difficult to get this kind of precision with a keyboard, and mouse. It's not the mouse, it's the keyboard, because the keyboard's what's controlling like the rotation of the ship. The mouse is just, you know, showing where you're actually putting your cursor. So let's see how he kept that box, came up around and got right back on the target. It looks easy, but that is not easy to do, especially with a keyboard.
Could do some damage to it here. Here we go. Got to get really close to it. Yeah. We're just taking shot after shot to the face here on that turret.
Oh, he's doing good damage there, though. Oh, he did good there. Oh, those are some good shots. He's getting hit, getting hit.
Oh, taking so much damage just trying to close distance on him.
He took a ton of damage right there.
We did some damage to him. We were able to get really close to him. But we've pretty much taken critical damage. So we've got a little bit. We've got a little bit of power left. We want to get our shields up. We want to get our boost to maximum, so that the last chance we have here is to get in on him and sort him out here. All right. The gunner blacked out, eh? Ooh. All right. See if I can't get him to follow me into the sun. Okay, now I got the sun to my back. Now I can approach. We want to stay under full boost here.
Gonna pass out. Ooh, almost passed out. Ooh.
We'll slowly make our way in on him. Try to get behind him.
Ooh, got it. We got it. We got him. But anyways, this guy actually, he's really. If you ever want to watch a good person in Star Citizen Avenger 1, is damn good. And Planet Side. All right, well I'm out of here. I gotta do some stuff. I'll catch you later, boss. Everybody else, wish Trump good luck tomorrow, because I really don't want. I certainly don't want Trump to lose tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace out.